Hey buddy, Jim from Coleus. Okay, I'm getting ready. This is it. This week we'll be starting our the Bayhead Farmers Market. Again, if you're in the New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania area, you want to take have a nice excuse to take a day trip to the New Jersey shore. Beautiful Bayhead it will not disappoint. There's so much to do here. You'll probably want to stay overnight. There's tons of hotels and motels around. I'd be very surprised if you didn't find a room. But anyway, stop by Bayhead Farmers Market, 85 Bridge Avenue in Bayhead, New Jersey, Ocean County. It's an hour north and south of Atlantic City, Philly, pretty much right dead center between the three. But for those of you who are too far away to come visit, I'm getting myself ready to go. I was going to go change my shirt. I was like, you know what, let me shoot a video for everybody. I haven't really, I did a couple of shorts, and I see there was a lot of views on them, so I'm very happy to see that. But I figured, let me say hello. And I'm like, you know what, inside a greenhouse, it's like 100 degrees in here, give you the royal treatment. I'm sweating, I'm hot. The Coleus are enjoying it. I just took little at a time, took some out, sorting them out to see which ones I'm going to be bringing on Thursday. I'm not bringing everything. Again, if you're following along, I staggered because it's just me and I'm growing about 500 Coleus. I grow them I spread them out so I don't have everything coming you know, ready to go and getting trimmed all at once. I'm going nuts here. So I have you know, I have things at different levels of growth. So in another 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I'll have more Coleus to bring to replace the ones that hopefully I sell, which I think I will. Got a beautiful crop this year, lots of color, a good array of pots. And this is for those of you who can't come to the farmers market, or maybe you're thinking of maybe getting a little hobby, a little side gig, if you will. Coleus are a beautiful way to make a few extra bucks. I do it. I don't need the extra money. I'm not rich, but I'm blessed. I have a pretty good life. I give back to organizations such as the Morris Animal Foundation, Wounded Warriors, Paralyzed Veterans. I give back all through the season. I usually run a donation drive every month on my Instagram. We'll get started now that we have the farmers market going and so forth. Just finishing up American Cancer Society. I think we'll probably do Paralyzed Veterans for July. So, but anyway, I'm organizing everything so I know what to bring on Thursday, so I don't come in here on Thursday morning and say, okay, should I take this one, should I take that one? I have an idea of what I'm bringing, and maybe I may set up 2 tables because I have an awful lot of stuff. It makes a nice display, but real excited. So let's take a quick we'll give you a quick tour of what we have here. And again, if it's something that maybe you're thinking of doing, you can do that. I have a few followers, Mark Hubert over in Great Britain, who's growing a ton of beautiful Coleus. And he's got a little gig going on with selling them. And Rico over in Germany, I think you're selling some possibly. But it's an interesting way to make a few dollars extra and maybe to give back, and it's a wonderful little hobby. You don't have to grow 500. You can grow enough for your own property. You can adorn your whole property with beautiful Coleus, just like I do. And again, if you're following along, I have them all over my property. I have them for decorations. I also have my pots staggered throughout my property for my eBay seed listing, which will be going on live in about October. I generally start my eBay seed listing in October, so jot that down. That's Jim's Coleus on eBay, and I'll sell legally propagated Coleus seed, so you can next year perhaps follow along, grow your own Coleus, and have some fun. And I can teach you how to do it. It's really easy. You don't have to be a PhD in botany or anything like that. You can really do this easy. So okay, enough yapping. Let's get to the Coleus, and I'll show you exactly what I did here to keep Thursday, the stress down for Thursday as I get ready for the kickoff of the Bayhead 2023 Farmers Market, Bayhead, New Jersey, Ocean County, right on the ocean. All right, so I kind of cleared off some of the table here, make sure everything's watered. Here's some of the hanging baskets. I believe I'm going to be taking 90%. I have 10 hanging baskets. I believe I'll be taking all of them. And these I also double check the water, make sure everything is good, trimmed anything, just doing a little of everything. There's another hanging basket. And these are really going to do well. I mean, this weather, it's humid. You're getting some rain today, thunderstorms. Of course, these won't be out in that, but the humidity, it's really kicking in. You know, and just for an example, this one here I won't be bringing. It's still trimmed. I got this big leaf, I may trim that off. But the majority of these I will be bringing. And here are all these little ovals. Again, these things grow really slow, but these are beautiful container plants for indoors. Bright window, lots. You can see here I trimmed that, but I didn't want to. At this point, I don't want to trim these big, beautiful leaves. Really, showcase that when the new owners, hopefully, will take that home, and I'll tell them, hey, look, if you want, trim these too here, and you'll get all that. See all that growth coming in the bottom. So I'll basically teach them. And that's another thing I like to do at the farmers market. I don't just sell my plants. I actually spend some time with the people who buy them, who are not really familiar with Coleus. And there's the two camps. I find there's people who know more about Coleus than I do, or there's people who are completely oblivious, never heard of them, and they really get interested when I start going on teaching them and so forth on how to maintain and grow these Coleus and how you can cut them and make new plants out of them and so forth. So but yeah, here's a small one. I don't believe I'll be bringing that. So I generally bring this table full, and I have this table also. So my first 1 or 2 weeks I'll probably have 2 tables filled with Coleus, and then you know, and then by then I'll just have the 1 table. And it makes a nice display. Once I set up at the farmers market, as you can see here, it makes a nice display. I have my awning, lots of color. I throw some pinwheels out and some American flags and so forth. It makes a nice display with these beautiful colors. And yeah, I tell people you can't really find these in stores. You go to Home Depot, Lowe's and stuff, you'll find some Coleus perhaps, like the Empires and stuff, and maybe these, some Coleus like these, the Scarlets and so forth, but you're going to be hard pressed to really find some of these watermelons or the mosaics or jitters and so forth. So I like to really tell people that, you know, why exactly Jim's Coleus or Coleus are special, because I do grow these by hand and raise them. I do put that effort in. So you can see this nice, we're gonna get a thunderstorm later today. It's been just rainy the whole past 5 days, which is really good for my outdoor Coleus. I'm gonna run those over. I'm gonna run through them too before we close, show you all the Coleus around my property and so forth, and how they just really are just exploding from this beautiful weather we're having. And also I have the trays of Coleus, and these I have about, I think I have 3 or 4 trays, and I bring these at the farmers market and I just sell them for $2 a piece for people who want to make up their own Coleus. And these always go every year, so I always make sure to bring these. And I have a bunch of people at work that want some. I don't like to bring in anything. I usually give them away, but I wait. I want to get my farmers market going first, and then I'll bring a few in for work. These hanging baskets are really ready to go, and there's a whole lot of growing time ahead. July, August, September, lots of time to really enjoy these. And the heat hasn't even set in here in New Jersey, and once that sustained heat kicks in, coupled with the rain and the humidity and stuff, these things just explode. Another thing I do every year, I keep one, I make up a large, this is not a large planter, this is a, 3. So I threw these 3 in, and I just keep it out here right outside my greenhouse. I have some Shasta daisies coming in. I got these gigantic hibiscus that'll be coming in shortly, and I keep this here, and it just stays here, and I'll water it as I come in. If I see it needs water but it gets rain, there's a jitters, and this is gonna be a huge Coleus. I mean, inside of a week. I put this out last week, I remember, and it was nowhere near this size. So they really start to crank when you get them outdoors. This is it. This is the season for Coleus. So here's organizing. These will be all of the Coleus so far that I'll be bringing in the fluted pots, round pots. There again, there's some trays. Here are some Coleus that I'm not going to be bringing. They're still they're a little small, or I'm actively trimming them, or there are some cuttings. There's an Inky Fingers cutting, and there's a little jade back there. So I just got them in the back, and there's 3 Inky Fingers cuttings that I planted. And you know, I'm going to probably put this outdoors in a minute. I'm going to bring that out now. We'll put it outside, and I'm going to find a spot outdoors for it, and we'll just keep it out here. We'll keep it outside and let it grow, because I got quite a few of these, but I really want to get a lot of them cranking going. Hopefully I get some seeds from them. If not, we'll just do what we do every year, and just cut and root and so forth. So there's a Saturn. This one is actually a Saturn I grew from seed. I did buy some from Rosie Dawn, but here's one that I grew from seed. They were very hard to grow from seed. I had not a lot of Saturn seeds, but I did grow a few from seed. And this one is pretty pure Saturn. This is a pure Saturn. And let me show you another one that I think, you know, if you're following along, I did show this before, but there's another Saturn variant from a Saturn seed, but it kind of went off on its beaten path. Oh, actually, you know, it had a larger leaf, but I just trimmed it. But, well, you can see there, that's more of a Saturn. But this one, I trimmed a bunch of larger leaves that were just really dark, more dark purple, and just a splotch of green. It's almost like the Moon Glow. I'm going to show you that next. I believe it's the Moon Glow that I got from Rosie Dawn Garden. It's the same variant, or has a similar color characteristics. Go take a look at that one. I really like it. Okay, and this is actually a Moon Dust. So it's not. I'm not gonna say it's in the Saturn family, but you could see it has Saturn characteristics. It's the same color, but instead it has the splotches of green. So I'm sure that they got this from, you know, genetically they splice it from a Saturn. And I also have another one outdoors in a larger planter that's going to be a huge pot. But this one here I have in the greenhouse. I'm not sure what we're going to do. I'm thinking I'm going to sell this. I got this from Rosie Dawn Gardens. I generally don't buy from Rosie Dawn Gardens to resell. I generally buy if I really love the Coleus, and I try to get ones that are legal to propagate if I can get some seeds from them. Most of them I'll buy a few for if they really, you know, if I really you know, if I'm attracted to them, they look interesting, like the Saturn rings, and this one here. And there's that's a beautiful Terrania and Wizard Rose. There's another Terrania, and it's a little smaller, but those will go. That'll be at the farmer's market. And here are my Rosie Dawn, a lot of my Rosie Dawns. And these are really, I'm keeping for myself right now. And here's another Saturn I grew from seed. Oh, that's like a Saturn rings. So, and how about this one, folks? This is here's a double jitters. It's 2 variants. I love these pink and the white, almost like a Wizard Rose jitters variant. And there's a more of a slender standard jitters. But let me put these up in a high pot and then let them drape down. And they're not disappointing. See, it's already filled up. So a lot of these will be going. Everything on this, pretty much on this side here, everything up top here will be going to the farmer's market and be ready to sell. Look at that, beautiful. There's another beautiful jitters. Almost, I don't want to sell some of these. You know, it's tough. It's hard to get. It's hard to let go. There's another one. Now look at that. Actually, there's a mosaic that's going to seed already. So we're gonna hold on to that because I do want some mosaic seeds. So I'm gonna see, I think I have a few mosaics in here, and I'm gonna keep those. That's a colossal marble. That's a colossal marble. I'm gonna try to have some of those go to seed, because I do sell the colossal marble seeds, and they're so true to the plant. I sold a lot of colossal marble seeds last year, and a lot of people have written back to me with photos of beautiful colossal marble Coleus. So next year hopefully we'll be getting some colossal marble seeds on the eBay listing. There's a crimson gold. So these will be this tray. I don't believe I'm gonna leave this tray. I'm not gonna bring this to the farmers market, but these other larger ones that they're just exploding, we're gonna bring these to the farmers market. And trying to get some light in here, but yeah, we just moved some of these. These are beautiful. These little hanging basket, little hanging pots. And what's nice about them is the little hook comes off. It just slides off. So if you don't want it, if you just want it as a regular, say just a regular pot, you can just take the hook off, slide the hook off, and you have a nice little table, a little plot for your patio table, your bistro table, or if you have a window box in your kitchen or something like that, something that gets a lot of light. These are perfect. So I have sizes for everybody, just, you know, ideas for everybody. That's beautiful. And of course the jitters, you see all that growth coming in. I don't want to trim this, but at this point I'm not going to let it, whoever buys this, I'm going to tell them to maybe trim these and maybe these two here and keep it at this height. I mean, this pot, you don't really want a really tall Coleus. Same with this crimson gold. You really want to limit it. It'll fill out and so forth, but it's your plant, so you do what you want. But you can see this here, this is another just a potted Kong variant. So just do a little at a time. Just trim, water as needed. See, those are curling up a little bit. They weren't doing too good. They were more in the sun, so I put them in the back here. See how they do over here? But those aren't going to the farmers market. These are a little too small, so we're putting them in the back. So everything pretty much in the back here is going to be for another day. So when Thursday I get ready to go, boom, I know everything is ready. I pack it up and go set up, and hopefully Thursday will be a really good opening for the Bay Head Farmers Market. And the weather looks good. Looks like it's going to be in the mid-high 70s. There were some storms, but they changed the forecast. And again, we're so close to the ocean that the weather forecast sometimes isn't really valid for Bay Head. It just the storms sometimes just stay out west. The ocean kind of pulls them out or pushes them out, so we don't get that. We don't always get the thunderstorms. There's a nice rustic. Okay, and again, here are some of the Coleus on my property that I potted up. This is the moon dust. So this is going to be a big, and again, you can see how closely related to the Saturn it is. Same color, just has the splotches of the green. It's going to look like a cool plant. Stay tuned, watch. This is going to be a mammoth Coleus. So, and we put that inky fingers over here. Again, you can see how I really don't like those pots, how they bend easy. They're not my favorite. So I still have, I bought so many of them about 5 years ago. I think I bought like 250. So I have about maybe 50 left. So, but anyway, we'll put this inky fingers out here and let's see how it does. Let's move on to the next. All right, there we go. This is that pail. I actually moved it from the where the fire pit was, but you can see how this is that one that the squirrels kept digging up and so forth. After a while, they lost interest, and everything seems to be rooting well. And again, I'll come out here if I see someday maybe a leaf that needs to be trimmed. I'll trim it on the fly as I water and so forth. Just a little background. This trench here, I call it, was the result of construction zoning when I had this garage, this driveway put in. I guess it was 5-6 years ago. I wanted to have the driveway go right up to the fence, but because of drainage, construction, and all that other zoning rules, it has to be set back a little for drainage. But then it created this mess here. So what I do is we try our best to just fill it with perennials and pots and ground plants, and it's a lot of work. But I do, you know, again, I have mums coming in. Here's Shasta daisies. We have actual mums in here that come up every year. Here's a fish net that's coming in. And let's head over to the Lord Voldemort. There's remnants of our party for my graduation. We still have to do a little more cleanup here. Okay, so here we go. Look at the Lord Voldemort here. We got to clean some of this up. Oh, here's a leaf from Clemmy. But you can see, again, now it's really, it's just exploding now. And it just won't be long till they start to really grow up. I can argue I can trim it top up a little bit more, but we're just letting it go now, and in no time it's going to be a full Coleus. So stay tuned here. This is that Lord Voldemort, and these were all cuttings from last year. All right, and you can see here, this is a little odd here. These are inky fingers. That one's really slow. These are those really leggy inky fingers, but they're coming in, but very slow. And these other ones here, and look at these are inky fingers also, but completely different. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. I believe these were inky fingers. You know what, I have to look back at when I made this. Not sure now. I have to take a look, because they definitely don't look like the inky fingers. So, but we know that these are, and again, these were cuttings from last year that I kept alive all year long. And moving on, these are some pots. Now these I'll be bringing to the farmers market. I don't know if I'll be bringing these this week, but probably the following week. I'm gonna give them a little more time. And I like these big showcase. Again, these are Rosy Dawn plugs that I bought, and I pot them, and these I keep on my property, and they just grow into gigantic plants. There's a Saturn rings. You can see, folks, if you follow along, you can just check back at my last video. You can see the marked growth already, especially that, just after a week. So these are filling in nice. That's beautiful too. I forget the name of that one. I'm not sure if it's a flamingo or what, a Kingswood torch maybe, but these are really filling in nicely. And I'll just keep them here. They get a good amount of sun, but they get a lot of shade also, and a lot of moisture, and they do wonderfully here, and they look really nice. But again, these will be bringing to the farmers market, and perhaps one, I did promise one of these to somebody, but I have other of these Defiance. And here's a hanging basket, and this is just outdoors. There's a nice Kong, Empire Kong, and a mosaic, and there's a jitters on the far side, I think. So I just leave these out, let nature take its course, fertilize, water when it does. But again, we've been getting so much rain here that it's just doing fabulously. How about this? This is that oh, Brooklyn's gonna kill me. I'm not even gonna attempt how to say the name again, Brooklyn. But this is beautiful, isn't it? This is that repurposed wine pot. But look at the color on those, huh? Just fabulous. I gave these a good shot of Miracle Grow Bloom Booster, and you can see it actually works. And here we go. See, little at a time. It won't be long. Look, it's only June, end of June. And we got all of July and August, all the hot weather coming up. These are going to be crazy big. Crazy big. And there's a, these are a couple of Saturns I grew from seed. There's 3 of them, I think, or 2. No, it's 2. And we're just throwing them in. Let's throw them in this pot, and we'll see what's gonna go with these. There's a Terranium mix. These are on my deck, on my patio table, but these are gonna go to the market. I grew these for the farmer's market. But I had these outside and I put them in because we had some heavy thunderstorms. But these are beautiful. And here's the back side of that other planter. You can see here, I'm constantly, every day I come out here, I'm constantly trimming. You got, you know, just from the weather, they get worn, ripped, torn. If I see and just apply this to your own, folks. You see maybe an older, worn out Coleus leaf that's maybe infringing into another plant, trim it. Just snap it. You got all that growth coming in the bottom here. Same thing down here. You see how you have this here. There's an old, worn out, kind of tattered leaf. Just snap it and throw it out. And just, it's regular maintenance. And then eventually it's all going to fill. You see any organic matter down here, any kind of weeds growing. And again, I'll give these another shot of Miracle-Gro next week. But you can see where I've trimmed it, particularly over here. And then we're letting it really fill in, and then it's gonna naturally grow taller and fill in until I have a nice sculpted Coleus like this. I feature this on my YouTube videos all the time. These make great pots. I really enjoy making these every year. But I always try to get these colorful Kongs, and because they're the best showcase. And again, these are Defiance, I believe. They make a nice planter. Oh, and don't forget this, as we hear Bobo yapping away in the background. This is really taking off. I did some trimming, as you can see, and eventually it'll be filled in. It'll be a giant monster. That's it. You said it, Bobo. Okay, everybody, so thanks for watching Jim's Holy Coleus. Really looking forward to starting the farmer's market. And I just have this feeling that the summer is going to go like that. It really is. I look, and it's July already. I want to rush it, but I think it's going to be one of those quick summers, because the busier you get, the more time flies by with our lives, our work and family and so forth. So all right, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for following along Jim's Holy Coleus. Any questions, comments, I'm here for you. Just leave them at the bottom. Again, follow me over on Instagram. It's the best place to keep in touch with me. Send me pictures if you're having a problem with your plants and you're not sure what to do. It's best to send me a photo and a little description of what the trouble is, and I'll help steer you in the right direction and get you back on track. It's not that hard. Don't get discouraged. Don't get discouraged. I made plenty of mistakes. It happens. You get better by watching my videos, because I have years of them, and trying, growing, making mistakes. It's part of everything. You don't get better at something until you start making mistakes and learning from those. So same thing applies with these beautiful Coleus. So all right, so thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good week, and stay tuned here at Jim's Holiest of Coleus, and keep your fingers crossed for the Bayhead Farmers Market coming up this week. Take care, everyone.